Welcome to a new mini-series where we're going to talk about a failed project that's haunted me for years. So we made a Ghostbusters movie that had gotten a good bit of internet attention, but we wanted to move on to something more original. We worked on some other projects, including a Western and kind of a Mac and Me / E.T. spoof. But none of these movies really found an audience, honestly. They got pretty much no views outside of people we knew. So we started trying to think of ways to, get back at it. Like the Ghostbusters movie was such a hit, we were thinking, like, what else could we do? And then it hit us. Ninja Turtles. We got to work developing a Ninja Turtles movie, and I'll talk about the plot and everything else later. But at this point, we'd already had a script, we'd cast all the parts, we had most of the suits built already, or at least figured out how we were going to do it. And then this 1962 Volkswagen bus rolled in. At that point, we decided that our movie needed this. I ran my dad's junkyard at this point. We bought junk cars for maybe 7 cents a pound, which is not a lot. One day, this guy calls late in the day. We were about to close and said, "Hey, I got this old Volkswagen van I'm bringing in. Can y'all guys stay open for me?" Like, yeah, I want to see what kind of Volkswagen van he's got. It's probably, well, for the second Mac and Me reference in this video, it was probably one of these Vanagons, is what I was expecting. But no, this guy rolls in with this 62 split window panel bus on the back of his truck. And I, my jaw was just like, because, these things are really expensive. People collect these for outrageous amounts of money now. And this guy sold it to us for scrap. I paid $72 for this Volkswagen bus, and it is rotten. It's got a 1970 tag. He said that he'd been cleaning up some guy's property that died. This bus was just on the property, so it had been sitting for 35 plus years probably at this point. So we cleaned it out. At one point it was a TV repair van. Not anymore. Now it's a turtle van. It's perfect because the panel gives you the opportunity to create the window shape that's on the toy. The doors were shot and would have been a perfect opportunity to build the drip rails were just shot, which is not good. The bottom, I'd say 7 inches of the car were just gone from sitting in wet leaves for almost 40 years. And the frame was pretty bad off. My dad and I cleaned it up. We took it home, put it on the lift. We just started welding metal to the frame to try to reinforce it. And we made this thing solid. It wasn't going anywhere. No floor pans in the back. The seats, if you got and sat in that car, you would just go through the bottom of the floorboard. So I found an engine. We had the heads redone. We put the whole thing back together and had awesome compression. The car was running slick. Redid the fuel lines, redid the brakes, put new tires on the thing. We had to put bay window bus wheels on the car, which were 14-inch instead of the 15-inch split window wheels, which was all we could find, but it was fine. We actually got this thing to where we could drive it around the yard. It was running, it stopped. We started filming the movie and did some test scenes with the suits that I'd built, which I'll talk about in more detail in another video. We'll do a whole thing about the suits. The bus was starting to be a little too much. I was building all this stuff myself. I wrote the script, I was shooting it, I was making the costumes, I was building the suits, all the puppets. This thing had Mauser puppets from, Baxter Stockman. We filmed the first day and the suits just didn't work right. So I was getting really upset. I decided I wanted to work on a short film that would be easier to shoot. So I kind of put the Turtles on a back burner. And long story short, I got a bunch of other projects going, things that I cared more about. And then I started grad school and I needed money because I was student teaching and I couldn't work because I had to go student teach full time. I wasn't skilled enough at that point to really pull it off. So I ended up just, I sold the bus. I didn't want to. I figured I'd never find another one in that shape that I wouldn't feel bad about, putting a spoiler that said Ninja Turtles on the top of it. It just wasn't the right time. I think about it a lot. That's why I'm making these videos about it now, because this is something that I wish I could have finished. It feels really good to talk about this. It's kind of therapeutic to kind of show you guys what I was working on for 2 years of my life and explain what happened and why it didn't work. The turtle van didn't work out, but we did save it from the junkyard, so that's got to be something, right? Stay tuned. I've got a lot more to talk about with this Ninja Turtles movie. So if you liked our Ghostbusters movie and you like all the other videos on this channel, I think you're going to dig what I've got to talk about. I made a bunch of radio-controlled Ninja Turtle costumes for a movie that never happened and wasted a lot of time doing it. Maybe it'll make some entertaining YouTube videos. So subscribe. You guys are awesome. I'll see you later. Hope you enjoyed this look at my past failures.